everyone, how are we all? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. I know it's been a wee while. I thought I would come on and do a makeup video. Now I did plan in my head last night to do my fake tan, but lazy arse over here fell asleep, so we don't have much fake tan on. But I need to put it on tonight because I've got Kirsten's home hen tomorrow, really exciting. So it needs to go on tonight anyway, but I wanted to be like glam today. So we're not going to be glam because I can't do my glam makeup with such a pale base. I don't know why, I can't seem to do it. So I'm going to just do my everyday look. Now for some people that might still be quite glam because I wear eyeshadow every single day if I have makeup on. So it's still a relatively glam look, it's just not like my night out Saturday makeup. But if you want that, I can also do that video. But I actually filmed this like 3 weeks ago, and within this 3 weeks, my God, has my life fucking changed. Shock horror. So I was editing and I was just like, well, that's not the same. And I was like, that's not the same. And I was like, that's not the fucking same. So I just thought, scrap it, and we'll just do it today. I'm in the flat myself this morning. It feels very bare, and I just thought I would, while we're doing this makeup, give a life update. Another one. God, guys, honestly, it's like, it's not bad life update. Feels a little bit bad to me, but apparently it's really not that bad. Like, no one I've spoke to is like, you're making the wrong decision here. And loads of good things have happened. Also, just a little disclaimer, I have a crow's nest currently on my kitchen window, and you can't go near it, obviously. Like, you can't interfere with it, so I've not even like as much as looked out that kitchen window to see it, but they are flying into my window with sticks. So if you hear like tapping, it's them tapping sticks off my kitchen window. Yeah, and you just have to let them be, because last summer there was a seagull's babies on my roof and I couldn't open my roof window either, because it's like, apparently if you do that it kicks off with the birds, so you just leave them to it. You know, it's my kitchen window. It's currently being owned by the crow, and I keep shiting myself because see, sometimes at night if I come into this kitchen and I just see this swooping, it's the crow. It looks like a bat at night. It's been trying to navigate it in my flat group chat. They're very into their animals and they're talking about it, and I'm just like, yeah, I won't touch. I just do what I'm told, to be honest, at this point. I'm scared to fucking breathe. But yeah, back to this. I just thought we could do my makeup together. I'm going to get so I always actually get asked, I do have questions that I'm going to run through that I'll get asked on Instagram, and it was, I will start my makeup at one point. Do you know what, let's just start it. Why am I sitting here doing a fucking debrief? By the way, see, before I start my makeup, I have recently been using this, and what a difference I feel like it just makes to my lips when I'm applying my foundation and my actual lip liner. I feel that sometimes I can do it and it's quite, I feel like I'm punching my back so you can fully see me, maybe if I push it right here. Sometimes when I do my lip liner to my foundation, I feel like it's like quite a harsh divide because I just do this with my foundation. So I've been using this, which is a Kylie Skin, I can barely see that, Kylie Skin lip oil. Wow, really, and also it's just nice on the lips, and your lip liner will apply so much nicer. Anywho, what was I saying there? Lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Also, new PJs, bought them last night at a Primark. I feel like a piece of fine china. They're so comfy. I've actually came to the realisation these are the only Primark PJs I like. I've been buying these other ones that are not this material, but they're not waffle either. They're kind of tableclothy, but the minute you wash them, they shrink. I'm walking about with 3/4 lengths on, and your gal's tall. I'm 5'7", so I can't be wearing them. And I've bought 4 pairs so far, and they keep doing the same. So I don't know, is it my washing? But I don't think it is. My mum washed a pair and she's a professional clothes washer. I'm joking when I say that, I just mean because she's never know doing a washing. And hers do the same. So if she's getting it wrong, I'm most definitely getting it wrong. But yeah, I just thought time for, I'm gonna put a little bit more in that one. I'm dry over here. That's what I would do. It looks, by the way, it sometimes looks on here and I'm like, no eye contact. So yeah, I just thought I would redo this and do an update, answer some questions that I mostly get asked and have been asked in my little question box. And a question that I get asked a lot recently, and sometimes I always laugh because I'm like, there's obviously people are watching or seeing stuff that I don't see. Because gal, just I like to not see some stuff. And I've had DMs from people being like, oh, I seen your house was sold, or I obviously posted it, but this is before I posted, but obviously there is such a thing as Rightmove, which I just pray no one looked at. And obviously if you follow me on Instagram, you would see that recently I posted on my story. I mean, I didn't really post much, it wasn't like I was pure giving the tea. But I sold my old house. And obviously this has been going on now for a long time, and it was like a question that I noticed was always in my DMs, or people would say to me, oh, like, by the way, I think your house was sold, or by the way, I think your house wasn't sold, or by the way, what's happening, there's still a for sale sign outside your house. And then obviously I posted that it actually was sold. This has obviously been something that's been like a long process for me. Something that when it all kicked off, I don't think anyone really expected it to go on that long, on my side anyway. I know my lawyer never, I know the estate agents never. It was a bit like, lol, this is still happening. And yeah, it's been a thing. Honestly, I feel like people went through divorces easier than that for me, to be honest. But it's done and I couldn't be happier. Honestly, I have tried my hardest to really put on a brave face. I'd say more so just since like I'd probably say that's been I'm trying to work how long it's been. It would have been a year in October. Really? Yeah, so just well over a year. And I tried my hardest to really put on a brave face and not let it affect me, but I mean, if you're my friends or family, you know that it fucking well and truly affected me. And I think now that it's done and I'm out of it, I'm actually a bit like, wow, what a fucking champ I actually am. For one, getting through it and coming out of it still mentally stable. I mean, it's definitely tapped me a wee bit, but still get my wits about me. But yeah, I think it's been such a process, and I feel like, I'll be honest, it was the hardest thing I've ever went through, like trying to move on with my life while in a legal battle and like a lot of back and forth, and having a lawyer for that amount of time. And even though my lawyer, I would actually give that man, he deserves a Pride of Britain award for having to go through the shit that he went through with me, but just in general, like that whole, like, I think if anyone's ever been in a not nice breakup, or you've ever went through it and were like, you've had to get a lawyer, or you've maybe like whatever, even if it's not a breakup, if it's like work related or house related or whatever, having a lawyer just riddles you with anxiety. And I don't really know why. Like, see, when Tony would phone me, I'd be like, I'd sometimes text him like, can I speak to you tomorrow, because I would be having a good day and I'd be like working, and sometimes a phone call from him would physically put me to bed. Like, I would have to, like, I would be like blinds down, makeup off, I can't communicate with the world because I felt dead unwell at what was being said. So the fact that that's all over and my house is sold and like I can move on with life is unbelievable. And I think it's like one of those things, I've not really spoke on it for various reasons, but like I couldn't move on with my life, like regardless of whether I met someone new, got a new boyfriend, was in and out of relationships, or like single or whatever, I couldn't move on. My name was still attached to a house, I still had a mortgage, I couldn't buy a new house because I have a house. Like some of my pals live in that state, I couldn't go up there. Like, it was just a pure palaver. And I'm just like also on both sides, you can't be arsed with that. Like, you just want it done and dusted, and I could not be happier that like I can move on with my life when it's done and dusted, and one, I no longer own that house. And I think I'm quite lucky that in this aspect, like, it dragged on that long for me, that the actual love that I had for that house and why I stayed in that relationship, or why I wanted to be there, was for the sake of the house. I no longer feel that. Like, I'm like, oh, I loved it, it was nice while I lived there, but I'm over it now. So when I got the phone call that it had all went through and that was it, done and dusted, I was just like, wow. I never actually I never felt 1 ounce of sadness. I was just like, hell yeah, like, it's over, there's no need to go on about it anymore, I don't need to phone anybody about it, I don't need to talk about it every week or argue about it or whatever it was, it's just done. So yeah, I feel like quite a lot, but obviously people are saying stuff, so I get why the question was asked, but that's really the update on it. I sold my own home, my old home, and it's done, and I can move on with life. And I think, like, see, now that I'm in a new relationship, to be honest, that's the last thing I really want, is to be like it'd be awkward sometimes, my phone would go and I'd be like, so I need to answer this, and I'd be like, I don't really want to talk about that old stage of my life ever, to be honest. Gives me the fucking ick, to be honest. So, like, for that aspect, I'm glad it's just kind of all done and dusted, and like, it's a new year, I'm 30, I'm in a new pure era of my life, and yeah, couldn't be happier, to be honest. Which kind of leads on to the life update. So as you guys know, this flat, I was actually talking this to my friends Chelsea and Sean, because I had a bit of a meltdown the other day, and when I was on FaceTime with Sean, he said to me, he was like, look, so I'm jumping here. Basically, you know, obviously when I took this flat on, that's what Sean was saying, sorry, it was like a total different stage in my life. I was trying to get my independence back. I was trying to, like, not let what was going on in my life pure cripple me. I was obviously at my mum and dad's, and I felt like that wasn't really working because I went there when I was in such a low stage in life, and then I was starting to feel better, and I was like, right, I need to change my life a bit, I need to change the scenery. I can't be here because this just reminds me of being depressed and all the rest of it. So see, when I took this flat on, I never had an idea of how long it would be. Obviously, I was very much single, and I honestly didn't ever think I'd meet anybody, so I was just like, I could probably just live here the rest of my life, like, unless my landlord decides to sell or whatever. And I always said, even from a young age, like, I wanted to try living in the West End, but when I got, like, that home, I kind of just thought, okay, that's my forever home, I won't do that now. So when I got the opportunity, I thought, just do it. This flat came up, it was gorgeous. Loved it, but it always was very, very expensive. I mean, I think if you live with someone and you're paying what I pay, it's cool because it's 2 wages, but I won't lie to you, it's a lot of money. And you know what, I knew that when I took it on, but I said to myself, just do it, even if you do it for a year, because at this point, this was the key thing in all of this that I think I've been forgetting recently. I never knew an end date for my house selling, see, because there was a lot of things that were going to court, and it could have dragged out a lot longer, and it already dragged out for so long. Like, my lawyer kept saying, prepare yourself, because we don't know how this is going to end. I could have still been dealing with this for another year, or it could have sold last year, or whatever it was. So I never really knew an end date for that, and I just thought, I can't keep putting my life on hold when no one else is doing that. Like, why is my life put on hold? And that's not the case. So I just decided, right, do you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to take this flat. It's a lot of money, it is what it is. I might only be there for a wee while. And I always knew that when I got my house money, the plan of action would be add to that and keep saving and put away so that I can then go and buy my own wee home. Now, I don't actually think there's a problem with renting. My mum and dad rented for years until they got that house there. And I think like, what people want is very different. Like, some people want to rent a house, like, some people want to own a home, some people like fancy cars, some people would rather nice holidays every year. Like, I think what people want out of life is so different. But I know from a very young age, and especially because I've had it before now, owning a home to me is something that I really want, and it's just because I've always said I want a really settled wee life, and I don't care what size of house I own, I just want my own home that is mine, and ideally, funnily enough, no one can ever take away from me. And that's always what I've always wanted, and it's still very much so, probably more so now, what I want. So because my house sold, I kind of had a hard think about, right, what do I want to do next? Like, when would I want to buy a house? And to be honest, like, I would love to say, oh, I'm going to go buy a house tomorrow. But see, if I'm being actually brutally honest here, right, I've had that much stress and worry about money for the last 2 years because of all of that I just want this year to be a year of, I don't care. Like, I can go as many holidays as I can afford to go. If I want to put my bank balance to zero at the end of the month, crack on. If I want to stay in and not do it and save my money, cool. Like, I just wanted a year where if plans came up, I could say yeah, I could go personal holidays. I felt like for a long time there I was only going holidays that were like brand trips, because I always had a worry in the back of my head, like, God, what's the legal bill going to be, or what's going to be next, or do you know what I mean? Like, I never really knew the outcome. So ideally, I don't think I'll buy a house. I know I won't buy a house this year. Like, I'm looking to do it next year. But with that being said, I think anyone who is renting and trying to save, you'll understand what I mean by this. It is quite impossible to save and rent, like, all at the same time. And then kind of shit timing, but my landlord put the rent up, and if I'm being honest, my bills just for the flat alone are like over £2,000. That's just my rent and my council tax and gas and electricity. That's it. Like, I'm over £2,000, and it's not worth it to me anymore having that amount of money out on when it's not mine. And I think I've realised that more now, like, it's not mine. And like, when I worked out in my head from now till the end of December what I'd be giving my landlord, so I just think because of that, it's kind of made me realise that, yeah, okay, I could stay here and have what I have for a deposit, but if I go back to mum and dad's for less than a year, I could put myself in such a better place when it comes to buying a house next year. And I just also think, in the grand scheme of things, when I work out what I'm paying every month before I've even bought a carton of milk, before I've even kicked a ball, as my dad would say, or like, without being horrible to anyone that's got dogs, you know this, having dogs are expensive, like especially poodles. They get groomed every 4 weeks. Coco's pet insurance, because that does get every nightmare, is through the roof, and these are just things you need to pay. And I'm like, it's a lot of money every month I was paying out before I'd even go for drinks with my friends or go for Nando's or whatever. And I always was like, right, here's all my money that I'm paying out. And I feel like I've did that for so many years that I'm just at a stage now where I'm just like, I would just like to enjoy a bit of life without the worry of money. And I know everyone worries about money, that's just life, but I just mean the excess of what I pay is just too much for one person. And is there any point, like my dad kept going, whether you do it for another year or 10 years, that will never be yours. You're still paying for something that will never be yours when your end goal is to buy. It'd be different if I said, oh, I'm going to just stay here forever. Cool, then that's what I need to pay, and that's the bills. But I plan on moving out next year, so really what's the point in giving all that money away if I plan on leaving next year anyway? So with all that rambling, a lot of fucking rambling I can see, I am moving out the flat next Friday. That's why I've kind of not been vlogging, because one, I've been a mix of emotions. Some days I feel fine about it, right? And it was dead weird on Tuesday, I just had a bit of a breakdown and I went for a blow dry, and the girl that does my blow dries, Amy, gave me a hug and I just couldn't stop crying. And then like I was speaking to Clara and I was speaking to Amy, and they were just like, why do it? Like, that's a lot of money. Like, I think as well I was more embarrassed, and I think maybe people will get this, like turning 30 and living back with mum and dad. But see, if I'm also being honest, I'm never here because it's town, you need to pay for your parking. So like when Dean's coming over, he has to pay. So it's like he get like something like ridiculous, like 6 parking tickets, and it's like, and the ones like literally within 2 weeks, and I'm like, that's £300 he has to pay in parking tickets to come to his girlfriend's house and stay for a couple of hours. Like, it's not worth it. So we're now always at his, and the dogs are always at his now. I think at the start it was different when we hadn't introduced the dogs to his flat yet, so it was like he would come here and whatever, whereas now the dog's just at his, so if I'm there, so it made more sense. He was just like, why would that come up to town, pay for parking when you could just come to my flat? Like, there's no difference. So I'm always at his. So I come during the day, I work, and I go to his at night. So like it was seeming more and more pointless. And then when I've worked out like my summer plans this year, like I've got weddings and I've got hen do's and everything's abroad and I've got holidays and all that. I think something ridiculous like the month of May I'm in the country, all of something like 8 days, a full month. So it's like I'm paying all this money every month for sweet fuck all. And I think I've been really nervous to like say it and like tell everybody, because I'm like, because like Chelsea and Sean were like, you don't need to tell people, like if you're embarrassed about it, like you shouldn't be, but you don't need to. But I think just because my job, it's like, well, you're going to notice anyway because I'm not going to be in this flat. But I'm also like, I know there's people like I've spoken to before and they're like, oh, I'll be back to mum and dad for a year and I bought a house, and I've not went, ooh, embarrassing. But I think it's when it's yourself, you just think, oh, and I don't know, maybe it's my job, I just think people are going to be like, and that's still sound pure cringe, but like she's got nothing going for her. And that's kind of how I feel. I feel like I don't own anything now. But even staying here, I don't own anything, so I don't know why it makes me feel like that. But that is my big life update. I am moving back with my mum and dad. I don't plan on being there longer than a year, to be honest. But for this year, I do plan on being there. Also, it's just a lot easier with the dogs. Like, the dogs can't go out that back garden, so it's a bit of a nightmare. So if I was like having long days of filming in here, I would leave the dogs at mum and dad's because it was a lot easier and they have a better quality of life. Like, they can go out mum and dad's back garden. So just everything in general I think will be a lot easier. And like I said, I'm never here. We're always like staying at Dean's just for easiness. So yeah, I'm moving is basically the update on life. And I am sad about it, like I'm not going to lie, it's not going to be easy. I know there's definitely going to be days that are hard back living with your mum and dad when you're older, when you've had your own space, now you come back to living with someone. It's definitely test your fucking patience. And my mum, I love her to bits, but God, that woman tests my patience. No, I just got foundation on my new jammies. Fuck her. But yeah, obviously I am like, oh, I feel a bit embarrassed still, but it is what it is. And you know what, I'm like, if that's how I feel, that's how I feel. And like, if anyone thinks that, then cool. Like, it is what it is. But I just know the year I'm going to have is going to be so much more enjoyable when, by the way, I'm that pale, I'm just using one shade, which if you know me, one is an MUA or two just an OG follower. You know I don't use one shade of foundation, so this is fucking crazy. But I'm that pale that I need to use the palest that I have. So yeah, I'm just kind of going through the waves of feeling fine. Some days I feel fine, some days I feel like a failure in life, but it is what it is. But it's weird because every other aspect of my life I couldn't be happier in, like work, and like I'm really trying my hardest with work. I'm in a really normal, happy, healthy relationship that's just normal life. And like, I just had my 30th birthday, I was just in Paris, like I've got loads planned. I've got like Kirsten's wedding, we're going to Vegas, but we've got a wedding in Mallorca. I've got Dean's friend's wedding in Ibiza. Me and Dean are going to like Rhodes and we're going to Ibiza ourselves. Like, I've got so much coming up that I know it's going to be a really amazing year. And also not having the stress of that flat bill. Wild. I'll buy a new woman. So yeah, and obviously just as well the stress of like the house stuff being over and all that. It's just, I'm like, it's a new stage in life and maybe this will be good, do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, see, as much as I love this flat, and if I could copy and paste this kitchen and put it somewhere, and like I love the fact that I've got all this room, I actually don't utilise it. For one, I don't put my telly on. Like Dean says I'm serial killer. He was like, the fact that like you don't put your telly on and you don't watch telly is quite criminal. In my bedroom was just my bed and my drawers, like that was just normal. And in my mum and dad's house I've got the exact same furniture, like nothing's different. All that's different is I don't have a full flat to myself, but that's life. So yeah, big life update, but I do feel okay about it. I think my thing is I'm just more worried what everyone, like you guys think, or what people on social media think, or like, is it, like, before I did it, I was like, Steve, would it give you the ick? And he was like, Abby, honestly, shut up, like, actual listen to yourself. He was like, why would you do that when that's not what your end goal is? And he has been really good and supportive, like, through my meltdowns. He's like, another one bites the dust. But it is what it is, and it's just, I'll just see how it goes. I'm going to try and be more optimistic about the fact that when I'm stressed, me and my mum are arguing, try and deep breathe, you know. But yeah, that's kind of just life. Now I'm going to move on to questions because I did get asked, and funnily enough I'm getting my hair done today, so I thought it's a perfect one to start on. But it was, what do I get done with my hair, and do I have extensions? So I go to, I'll pop it up, I go to Florence Nielsen for my colour. Florence is amazing. I feel like if you're a blondie, Florence just really gets how to colour blonde's hair without it being like overly yellow, or like, I never ever feel like I've got like a full head of blonde hair. She always keeps my natural colour, and I do really, really like it, and I like how Florence does it, and I like how Florence cuts my hair. Hold on, I need to wash my beauty blender. 2 seconds. I'm so old, my legs. Yeah, sorry. So Florence does my colour and cuts my hair when I get my colour done, and I usually go to Florence max, I think, 3 times a year. I don't think I've ever went over that unless I've had like a drastic change. But I feel like my colour with Florence always lasts. I actually prefer it when it's like not just been done. So see, like when it's like a month or 2 in and you start to get, you kind of start to get used to it, and your colour starts to change a wee bit and your own colour comes through. But I've went to Florence for years and I think she's really, really good. Moving on to my blow dries are done by Amy at David Corbett's in Bothwell. If I can't get Amy, I sometimes get Laura as well. Laura's really good as well. The both of them are just very skilled ladies when it comes to a blow dry. So if you're like me and you have layers, or you like a bouncy blow dry, then honestly test out a blow dry at David Corbett's because you'll never look back. They also do the blow dries with the brushes, which I think is like quite hard to find in Glasgow, so I really recommend them. And as you guys know, I go every week. But as you know, I've got an underactive thyroid, so my hair is very touch and go. Sometimes it's like fine, sometimes it's shite. I can't really work it out. So I had extensions done actually for a job like 2 years ago, and I just loved how I barely had to style my hair, and I noticed that my own hair, like even round the fronts and the side, got so much stronger because I wasn't over styling it. Because as you know, when you've got extensions, it does tend to hold the curl way, way better. So I didn't want a full head of extensions because I didn't really think I needed them. So it was Clara that did my volume roll recently. Now a volume roll is literally one roll, it says it in the name, of extensions. So you obviously get them to your own length, to your natural hair length. The only difference was I got a volume roll and then some sides because I was trying to grow in snapped hair at the front, and it was definitely growing, but it was still quite chunky and short, so I didn't want it cut more into. So rather than that, Clara just put in some sides, and then I got it cut to be a bit layered. So I'll put up a video recently where like I did it about my blow dry, and it's like everyone's like, oh my god, your hair. That's basically it. So I just have my long bangs, and then I get my side bits cut to like be under, like to be like layered there, but the rest of my hair is all the one length. I do that so it looks thicker, and I don't really want it pure chopped into. So that should kind of answer that. So I also feel like my blow dries hold better when I've got a volume roll, because the extensions do just hold the curl and everything better. So if you're maybe considering it but you don't want a full head of extensions, then you should really try a volume roll. And I wear Beauty Works hair, and I've never really had an issue with it. I actually really, really like Beauty Works hair, especially again if you're blonde. They tend to be a lot drier anyway from the get-go, and like that's my hair there, and my extensions were put in November. So it's November, December, January, February, March, so like 5 months. And like my hair doesn't, the hair, like see if it wasn't for the fact that it's pure, the extensions have grew out, I wouldn't be changing it because the hair's fine. But they're really grown down, so that's actually what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get my extensions out and my hair cut, and then nothing put in until next Tuesday. So because I like to give myself a couple of days where I don't need to do anything, like my hair's like got a wee minute to breathe. The only difference is I do have Kirsten's hen this weekend, so I kind of was freaking out, but I've decided rather than wearing my hair down on Saturday, I'm going to get my hair up, so because then I won't really notice that I've not got the extensions in, do you know what I mean? So I'm doing that. Another question I got asked a lot about was like dating and like how did you and your boyfriend meet and all that kind of questions. So I actually knew Dean from years and years ago. We are both from the East End of Glasgow, but there was a pub that everyone used to go to in Christmas Eve, the San Mile, you know it. It was a fucking place to be in Christmas Eve. Let's see if you weren't there, where actually were you? And he always went there, and so did I with all of my friends. But like I would never have spoke to him. Like I knew of him, like I knew who he was, but we weren't friendly. But like he knows my boy pals know him. Like it's all kind of not the same circle, but very similar circle of friends. Like there's definitely times with all the boys that have been at the same thing or whatever. And I just knew of him, but I'd never really spoke to him. And then we were actually talking about not that long ago. We were like, who followed who? Because none of us remember when we followed each other. Like have we followed each other since sort of way back then, or was it recent? We can't really remember. But yeah, I knew obviously who he was, and then he was a bit of a shite bag, I'll be honest. I'll just say that I'm going out him here. He was a pure shite bag when it came to talking to me. So it went on for quite a while, the whole liking situation. And then I actually kind of took the huff. I was a bit like, oh, do you know what, mate, piss off. Yeah, I was just a bit like, I don't need pals, mate. Like, stop fucking liking my shit if you're not going to talk to me. So yeah, I stopped liking all of his, and then, oh, I've got the pure ick. Basically, now you can like, when you like, you can reply to someone's story and it's like 6 different emojis. I thought I clicked on that, but I didn't. I sent him the emoji and it's like, now that one, I'll pop it up if I can. Right, locked my phone, went about, did my business, was like just floating about the flat. I'll never forget it. It was like a Friday night, and it like, I think it was like 7:45 or something like that. I went on Instagram and I was like, why is he in my DMs? Well, that way I can write onto my story, and I was like, if I posted a nude or something, if I posted a picture of my double chin or my tit or something like that, like what's going on here? And but see, because it was just the emoji, I could just see his messages, and I was like, I don't know what this guy's talking about. So then I was like, is he just making shit up to talk to me? And then guys, see, when I clocked the emoji, my phone has never flew the way it flew that day. I launched it so far, and I actually was like, no, I can't reply to that. I am mortified. And then I was like, by the way, I never meant that. And he was like, right, that's great. Anyway, we started talking from then, and then that's kind of really just been it. But I think it was a lot easier because we knew each other, and we knew of each other's friends, and we like mutual friends. So it was like when you're talking about stuff, it's a lot easier when, like, if he's telling me a story, I kind of know who he's talking about, or same with me, but like, oh aye, that's blah blah. And then he took me on a date. Our first date was to see like an ABBA sing-along thing, which, to be honest, I think he kind of knew what he was doing that day. Obviously I'd mentioned I was a pure big ABBA fan, and then he booked that for our first date. There was an event that day, and it was I remember that whole day thinking, oh my god, why has this guy done that? Like, no one's ever like been that thoughtful when it comes to a date, like pure thought about what I like. And obviously it worked, because here we are. But yeah, really really sweet. And then when actually for my birthday there, he got me tickets to go see ABBA Voyage in London, so we're going for the weekend and we're going on an anniversary, and he was like, I just thought that's like a full circle moment. We went at seeing ABBA our first date, so we need to see it on our year anniversary, and I just thought, oh, I'm such a fucking wholesome soul. But yeah, that's really it with me and him, and it's just nice. It's nice and normal, and I think like when you're older, relationships are different. You want different things from what I want. Like what I wanted at 22, Jesus Christ, you couldn't pay me to want that now. And I also think if you've been in a really horrible relationship, or you went through something like that, you do just think you appreciate the smaller things. Like I just appreciate peace, and like not having to worry and not having anxiety and not being insecure, and like that's what I appreciate, and that's what I feel is a good relationship now, where I'm just like, him make me a cup of tea is happy things, like that's just normal life. Do you know what I mean? I don't need the big glitz and glam, I don't need a big, like I don't need to pure, like the things I thought I would pure need, or like I used to want because I thought it would make me feel like my relationship was good. I'm just like, God, that's not the case. So yeah, everything was good on that front, but I got asked a lot about like dating apps and like, did I go on them and like dating when you're older and things like that. I think like, see now I'm in a relationship, I remember people used to say to me like, just enjoy being single, like there's going to come a time when you're not going to be single and you'll never get to do like your dating and all that again, and like first dates, and it is so true, because see now, I'm glad I done it. I'm glad I went on dates. I'm glad like some of the people that I've went on dates with, if I seen them out, I'm still really friendly with them, like lovely boys. Like I've got really anything bad to say about dating. There was definitely a couple of roasters, but I feel like you need to go through that to then go, right, you're actually not what I want out of someone. Or like you'll go on a date with someone and yeah, it could be a lovely date, but you just think, oh, actually, like I would always in my back of my head go, could I bring you in all my pals? No. Like, would we get married? No. And like, do our lives align? And there was a few people I just be like, no, but they're still nice people, it's just don't match. So I think like the aim of the game with dating is just to enjoy it and try and not put pressure on yourself. And I know that's way harder, because trust me, yours is coming from someone who actually put pressure on herself about being single anyway. But yeah, I think you just need to really enjoy it, because then you could meet somebody the next day and that could be you, you'll never be single again. So yeah, I think it's just enjoying it. And if you want to go on dating apps, go on dating apps. I actually don't think they're that bad, I'll be honest. I mean, I've seen recently and I thought, Jesus Christ, thank God I'm no longer on that app. But like, I think being on a dating app's not an embarrassing thing. I just think in this day and age, how else are you meant to meet someone? Like ideally, I always kept saying, I don't want a boyfriend who's in Kong every weekend. Kong is, by the way, a nightclub in Glasgow. But then there I was in Kong every weekend, so it didn't make sense what I was saying. So I think, yeah, just go on the dates, get wined and dined, have fun, and then the less pressure you're putting it, the better it actually turns out to be. So yeah, that's kind of the questions on dating. Then it's moving on to, there was quite a lot about Bly. So there is actually a lot happening right now with Bly, but we're kind of just keeping it quiet with designs and stuff like that. I'm definitely changing the direction of Bly in a way where I feel like I want to stick to what I want to do and like what I like, which is blazers. And I think, like, obviously I'm very much learning on the job. I never went to uni and did any of this, and it's like I always kind of try and follow the trends that maybe other brands are jumping on. But like, see when I see brands that bring out like, that you go online and it's like new in, it's like new in clothing, and there's a million one items, and I'm like, how do I get to that? But these brands are like multi-million-pound brands and have staff. There is no staff at Bly. It's me, Kirsten and Amy. That's it. That is it. And obviously our warehouse team. But we don't have designers, we don't have people that do like things like that. So I feel like I was dipping my toe in and not enjoying it. And then I'm like, well, I wouldn't wear that. Okay, but it will sell. That doesn't make sense. Like, Bly is meant to be about what I like and what I wear, and it's maybe my brand and like my, like, basically what I wear in a clothing brand. And I felt like I was swaying away from that, and I was noticing that my love for it was going away with it. So I've now brought it back, and it's going to be about staples and blazers and wearing things all the time, and you should be able to wear a Bly blazer umpteen times, and you shouldn't put a Bly blazer once on and then never see it again. Like, they're meant to be wearable staple pieces. Same with like our vest tops. Wear that vest top with everything. Or like our tracksuits, again, the joggers, wear them loads and loads of times. And whenever I bring out Bly stuff, I always get my mum to wash it. I get my mum to wash it quite a few times, and I want to see, does it dye from maybe the embroidery drip onto like the lighter colour. I want to see, how does it wash, does it shrink, does like things like that. And like even our Bly Sunday hoodies, obviously that had bubble right, and I remember my mum washed that so many times because I was like, how does it come out, because you can't iron the bubble, and it was fine, things like that. So it's like, I am very much learning on a job when it comes to Bly. But the stuff that is currently being made, and I've seen little snippets of and designs and things like that, and like the starting stages of the fabrics, oh, if this comes to life, honestly, it'll be beautiful, and I think it will be the start of like a nice wee stage of Bly. And I feel like now I'm 30 and I'm getting older, I want like both my Instagram personally and like my social media to kind of come with me to being older, because obviously I'm going to be at a stage where like I'd like to think I'll have kids, and I still want to be able to do this job, but it makes sense, and like people that maybe followed me at 23, 24 are now going to be 30 as well, like, and their lives are different. So I feel like I'm trying to like really transition Bly and transition my Instagram and stuff like that into a new era of my life. And the stuff that we've designed for Bly, I mean, is absolutely gorgeous. Like, if it comes to life, then wow, honestly, I'll never have it off my back. And our blazers, like, it's what we're known for, it's our best sellers, and we're keeping that theme, that we're sticking to what we know and what does well for Bly, and that is our blazers. But we are tweaking some things, so we're bringing out some new staple designs that are going to be like the go-to design. I've just mascara on my eyelid, kick it off. By the way, see, recently when I've been coughing, see my scar, it's really sore. But yeah, we've got the new designs are absolutely gorgeous, and hopefully they will be here for end of April, start of May. So it'll be like the perfect kind of spring summer collection. We're not doing like swimwear or anything like that, it's just going to be like more of your staple pieces. But like, I mean, I'm in love with like literally the cardboard cutout design so far. So if they come to life with the fabrics and stuff that we've picked, then honestly I will be over the moon. And yeah, I'm just really, really excited for what is to come for Bly, and hopefully it is big things. I mean, I think when you own a fashion brand or whatever, it does take time, unless you have like an investor that's got millions and millions of pounds that can actually set your brand up to start off at a really high level. But if you're like a small independent person trying to get your clothing brand up there, is, my god, it's hard. Have I just cut my hand there? So yeah, that kind of answers like most of my kind of questions. I feel like that was kind of everything that I got asked was about like Bly and life and like updates and stuff like that. I need to grab my lip stuff in my handbag, hold on. But today's a busy day. So the other day I had a guy come and dismantle all my bedroom furniture, my wardrobes and stuff, and then yesterday guys came and moved, literally man in a van came and took it all to my mum's house. So today the guy's coming back to rebuild it all. So I thought I'll film this here and then go straight to my mum's and edit it, because I want to put it up tomorrow, so you'll be watching this on Saturday morning, guys. And today I'm going to start a new vlog, and just kind of vlog the last week of the flat. I do feel quite emotional about it, and I do think I will really days regret my decision, but I'm trying to think of the bigger picture here, and I'm just like, £13,000-14,000, if I put that away towards my deposit that I've already got, it's a lot of money that I'm just like, I know next year when I went to buy a house, I'd be like, oh, why did I not do that? And I just could have had that, because I remember when I bought that old house, it was like, we'd agreed a deposit, and then it was like a week before, it was like, oh no, you need an extra, and we were like, fuck, like trying to scrape money together, and I'm just like, I just know, like, having been able to put more away, I'll feel better for it next year, because the next house I buy, I want it to be my forever home. So I want to make sure that I'm in the right position financially for that, and if that means giving up this flat, then I guess I just need to give up the flat. Doesn't make it easy right enough, definitely is a sore one, but it is what it is. So it's definitely a hectic weekend. I am very much so looking forward to Kirsten's hen tomorrow, the home hen. It'll be a lovely day. I think she'll be really happy with everything that's planned for it. And it's a lovely crowd of people that are going as well, so I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be so nice. It'll be nice to see everyone. So I'm actually tomorrow wearing a Bly unreleased item, which is coming very, very soon. I love it. Again, it's just like our staple, but I've actually never had it, I've honestly not had it off. So yeah, really excited for things that are coming this year, and yeah, I'm trying to ride the wave of the flat. I'm going to miss it, but I think it's for the best. And if anyone is in the same position with me, if anyone's moved back home to save for a house or after a breakup or whatever it is, like whatever your reason was for moving home, please give me some in the comments and in my DMs if you'd rather it private. Please give me some words of wisdom here. Please tell me I'm making the right decision. Please help me on this. I'm very much someone who like needs reassurance from people. So whether that be my mum, my dad, a stranger or a pal, just tell me I'm doing the right thing if you think I am. Because I know like on Tuesday after I got my hair done when I was home, I felt better after speaking to the girls because they were like, you're doing the right thing. But then like I woke up today and I'm in my doubtful mind again and I'm like, am I doing the right thing? But yeah, I just thought I'd give a more honest update on life. I mean, life is good, I'm happy and healthy in every other aspect. It's just a big change, which is the move. I bought a storage unit because my god, the amount of fucking shit I hoard. I'm a hoarder and I can officially admit it. I am a hoarder. Wow. Oh my god, guys, the chain off my bag was hitting off my worktop and I thought somebody was in here. My heart just stopped. I can't remember what I was saying, I'm just rambling. But this is the finished look. This is probably my everyday makeup. Like this is what I would do if I was out and shooting content, sometimes this is kind of what I do if I'm going for dinner. Like this is kind of my all the time makeup for everything, unless I'm going a night out, then I would do my eye makeup darker and my base would be darker because I'd have tan on. But this is my makeup, this is like life, this is what I wear, this is my everyday look. Obviously I've got my hair slicked back, I've got some hair oil in it just to help make the bonds easier to come out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go home to my mum and dad's house now, edit this. Below will be a link to my LTK page. The reason why that is, it's so much easier. If you make a wee account, guys, and you follow me, you can follow loads of other influencers on it, and it just means that, see when we post an outfit or we post makeup or whatever, it's there, it's easier. When I see something I put up my stories, it could be like somebody could watch this video like a month later and be like, where is it? And it's gone. So I'm just going to make an actual makeup folder on my LTK for YouTube. So every product and every shade will be listed, unless it's not on LTK, then I'll say that. But everything will be listed there. So if you click on that link, it will take you to all of this full makeup. But yeah, I'm actually really liking this. Like, I found this on the move. I found this in a handbag, and it's the Refy lip gloss in shade taupe, and I'm actually going to buy it because it's nearly running out, but I actually really do enjoy that lip shade. I wonder if they do a lipstick in that I could put underneath. Do you know what else I really want to try? What's that Refy thing that everyone's putting on? It's like a face thing. It's like, is it a primer or a moisturiser? Can't remember. I think it's in a roll, if I'm remembering rightly. But yeah, this obviously is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to literally go and turn this off and put the camera back on and start vlogging. And yeah, now that obviously I'm going to be at mum and dad's, I'll try and vlog more. It's going to be at their house, so it'll be a bit chaotic. Also I said to Dean, like, I'm going to be like vlogging at his and whatever, he's like that. I mean, he's like that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you all have a lovely weekend. I know it's a Saturday morning, I hope you're watching this for your coffee. And I'm going to start pre-drinking. Megan's coming to mine. I'm going to get my hair done, and then she's going to get her makeup done. We're going to start off here, have a wee pre-drink, and then get a taxi to the hen. But yeah, I'm really excited. I love hens. Just think it's when the gals get wild. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll catch up soon.